Are you thinking of investing in real estate in Central Alberta? Well, this is a video for you. Welcome, my name is Jason Walls of the Walls Real Estate Group, and we are here to tell you why, whether you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, Central Alberta is the market that you don't want to miss. So let's get going. If this is your first time to our video, please hit like and subscribe so that you will get notifications every time a new video comes out. So whether you're thinking of investing in 9 days, 90 days, or a year from now, it doesn't matter to the Walls Real Estate Group. We're going to be here. We do the research so you don't have to, and we will work on your timeline. So we're going to dive into today why Central Alberta is one of the best markets to invest in for real estate, whether you want to do long-term rentals, short-term, flips. We've got it all. So let's get started. So as you know, or you may not know, and I'm going to help you understand the market a bit better, inventory remains tight. And inventory is tight all across Canada right now. And as we move into 2025 and beyond, inventory is going to continue to be a seller's market for the next while. However, we have a lot of people that we know are selling properties that aren't always on MLS. So if you're looking for a property that might fit what you're looking for, that's one of the reasons why you want to reach out to a realtor. We always have listings that aren't always necessarily listed, or we have sellers that are waiting for maybe the perfect time. So one of the reasons why it's really good to reach out to us is because people go to realtor.ca or they look at other sites. That's not where we're going to find all listings. And especially in the market like it is today, where there is such a low inventory, people like us that have access or knowledge to other listings that people maybe are just waiting on, they're not quite sure, those are the ones that we can help you find. So I just want to kind of go into a bit of what the current inventory of the towns around Central Alberta have, just to give you a bit of an idea on what's available, as well as for average prices year over year. So let's just start out with Red Deer. It's the biggest city in Central Alberta, and right now there's under 300 listings. So that's about half of what we would typically see in a balanced market, which is really what we've seen in the last year. But I think right now it's even a little bit less than it normally would be. And prices a year ago were roughly about $325,000. And this is right from condos to luxury homes. So this is an average price, and by no means is it just broken out to a certain price point. And as of the end of last year, they've increased to $381,000. So that's about a $60,000 increase. So that's quite a increase over a year. And part of the reason why we're seeing that is just simply because there's more demand, less inventory. And let's go into some of the other towns. Innisfail, for example, less than 40 listings currently. So that's really low. The average price actually was higher last year at just around the $330. And at the end of this year, just ended, it was close to about $300. So it actually dropped a little bit. Sylvan Lake, there's less than 90 listings right now. So again, inventory is very low. The price point a year ago was about $330,000. At the end of this year, it was about $370,000. So you're seeing a pretty good uptick in the market, as you can see from these prices. Blackfalds, less than 50 listings, which is really crazy. Average price was actually just around $400 a year ago, and this year is just around the $375. So sometimes people say, well, why is the price dropping? Just because I've chosen to take the average price. So maybe there was some more condos sold or some more townhouses like that. So it just kind of gives you an idea, but it's certainly not a true indication of that you would want to go by. If you're looking for certain price points or certain types of properties, we can definitely give you more detail. Macomb, just over 90 listings. A year ago, the average price was $344. Now it's $381. So again, increase in price. And then if we go a little bit farther south to Olds, there's less than 45 listings, and the average price a year ago was $380, and now it's just over $400. So as you can see, most of the towns have had an increase in the average price. We're really starting to see more of an increase in the last year, and that's just because, like I mentioned, the demand is there. We still certainly don't have the price point that the bigger cities like Edmonton and Calgary have. I believe Calgary's average price right now is right around the $700,000. And Edmonton's right around the $500 to $550. So those larger urban centers definitely have a higher price point than we do. So that is one reason why for your ROI, if you're looking to make an investment, Central Alberta really does have a better return on investment depending on the type of property. So So I just wanted to give you 4 key points as to why the investment in Central Alberta really is as attractive as it is, and a reason why it's as popular right now as it is. So obviously number 1 we just discussed is affordability. You can't find these types of prices with the demand in many other centers. So Central Alberta really is sheltered. There's been some good growth, but we don't see the typical historical highs and lows that say Calgary maybe would see, or even into BC on the mainland or on the island or on the Okanagan. Those see much higher increases, but they're also vulnerable to some price fluctuations and some cycles. Same as Ontario. We get a lot of clients coming from both British Columbia and Ontario, just because the price of volatility have gone up so much that's make it harder to make a living, and people can sell their homes and relocate and be much better off financially because of that. Number 2 is economic growth. So the economic situation in Central Alberta is really good. It has been for the last few years. Job opportunities are plentiful. If you're looking for employment, people are relocating. Agriculture sector always is thriving. Oil and gas, energy sector is doing really well. The industrial sector is doing well. Hospitality. Just overall, the business environment around Central Alberta is very promising. Unemployment rates are lower than the average throughout the province and nationally. And just really, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking hard, you will find one in Central Alberta. So just the economic aspect of it within Central Alberta is really attractive to a lot of investors. Number 3 is the high demand for rentals. So right now, the rental vacancy is very low throughout Central Alberta, particularly in Red Deer and even some of the smaller centers. So people that are looking to rent, they're having a harder time. Unfortunately, they're seeing some pretty drastic rent increases in some cases, just because the supply is really low and the demand, it's hard for, the younger population sometimes to save up the down payment. So they're not able to buy a property as early as they want to, and so they're renting. And there's really so many different reasons as to why people rent versus own. But one thing that is really driving the investment opportunities within our area is the high demand for the rentals. And the 4th reason is just a lifestyle appeal. I mean, Central Alberta is beautiful. We do get a lot of winter, which we have right now, but it's actually been a really mild winter, which is nice. But the lifestyle appeal within our area is nice. We're centrally located. We're so close to Calgary and Edmonton. We're close to the mountains. We're not far from the US border. We've got so many different things to do outdoors. Doesn't matter what time of the year. Whereas wintertime, you've got the skiing, the sledding, the ice fishing, cross-country skiing. Summertime, you've got so many things. You've got the slide out a canyon with the roller coaster. You've got hiking in the mountains, the trails around the city. There's obviously the lakes, Sylvan Lake, Pine Lake, Gull Lake. Those all draw a lot of people. So really, the lifestyle that we have within Central Alberta and the amenities that we have are really second to none, especially, within the smaller communities. We don't have to deal with the big urban centers like Calgary and Edmonton. So the types that we look at, let's look at the first one, is detached homes, single family homes. A lot of people are wanting to buy those because the return on investment is still positive cash flow. And what we're seeing a lot of people do right now is they are actually suiting the houses. So if you have separate entrances, you can go top up, bottom, and we're seeing a lot of that going on. Right now, there's a program that if you're living in the home, you can take out some programs that the government is offering to suite your property and to take some equity out to use towards doing the suiting. So ask us about that. We'll get into that detail more in a different video, but that is really going to be a good program that is going to help a lot of people. The other next type is multifamily. So of course you got the duplex, the fourplex, the townhouses, and quite often with those you pay a little bit less per door, and those are good investment properties as well. And so we're seeing a big demand for those. We've seen quite a few that are being built, and there's quite a few that we've already have obviously that are existing that are popping up on the market. And honestly, those ones, they last for a few days and they're sold. So the demand is really high for the multifamily. Something we see more around Sylvan Lake, Gull Lake is Airbnb. So people are buying properties for short-term rentals, and they're really popular obviously in Sylvan Lake. Where would we be without Airbnb properties in Sylvan? There's just not enough hotels and motels around. So there is a lot of demand for those, especially, within walking distance to the lake, but even throughout the rest of the town. I know we have a lot of people we know that we have helped purchase properties that is their sole purpose, is to do Airbnb. And sometimes the demand's not quite as high in the wintertime as it is in summertime. However, they are full enough in the summertime to help offset the cost in the wintertime. So the Airbnb short-term rental is really an attractive type of property for a lot of investors. And the last type that we see a lot of investors do is the flip. They're all looking for the ugly homes or the homes that need a little bit of love and TLC, just be brought back to their former glory. And so those properties are really hard to find as well, but it is really neat to have some of the investors that we've had it in the past, and we'll see the before and after when they purchase the property, and then when they go to sell it, we also get the honor of helping them do that as well. And it is really nice, and it is crazy some of the improvements they make. And there are people that are doing this basically on a full-time basis, and it is really a good thing. So it's tricky to find those properties. Again, Shalane and I have some of those sometimes in our back pocket that we know of. So if those are the type of the properties that you're looking for and you haven't got a realtor, we'd be the ones that we'd love to help you out. So keep that in mind. So always a question we get asked is, how do we get started? How do we become an investor? How do we take that first baby step? And then we know it can be overwhelming. I felt the same way when I did my first one years ago. But at the same time, when you get it, it's such a rewarding feeling to know that you're starting to build a portfolio. You're maybe, whatever your reasons are for doing investments, whether it's long-term, that you want to sell in 10, 15, 20 years, or short-term, it is just really exciting to have that first investment property. So the first thing we always tell people to do is research the market. Know which areas you want, know what type of property you want to buy, know what you want to do with your investment. So whether it's long-term rentals, short-term rentals, whether you're trying to do a flip, I mean, you really have to know whether you want to do condo, whether you want to do fourplex, duplex, or a single family, maybe suite it, all the things we talked about. Just do your research, find out which areas you like best. We're happy to help with that. That's what we're here for, is to give you the goods and the bad of all the neighborhoods, all the communities. And with Shalane and I, we will give you the good and the bad. We're not going to hold back. We want to be as transparent as possible. There's so much good about Central Alberta, but there are some areas that we'd say, you know what, maybe that's not the best area. Maybe that's why the price is the way it is. Maybe that's why it hasn't sold yet. We want to be as transparent as possible and make sure that you trust us. And that way, hopefully, if you continue to build your portfolio, we're the ones that you'll call. So like anything, if you're purchasing an investment property, it's no different than purchasing your own home. You have to secure your financing. So whether that's a private lender, a normal institution that normally lends on mortgages, if you're doing some private lending, there's lots of different ways that you can try and get the capital. So just secure your financing, get pre-approval if you're going the conventional route. We've got a ton of mortgage brokers that are really good, that specialize in investment properties, and we can put you in touch with them and make sure you get started off on the right foot. And then you want to partner with the experts. So if you're not the handyman and you're buying the flipper homes, then we have a list of trusted trades that we will recommend to you guys. We want to make sure that you're looked after. We do the research for all the trades. We know a lot of people that we trust. If we don't know somebody that you're looking for, whether it's a painter, a plumber, carpenter, handyman, roofer, whatever it is, we typically have the tradespeople. But if we don't have them, we'll ask around, because we want to make sure that you've got the right people and the right connections. And the last thing you always have to think about is the management of the investment property. So are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to be self-manage it? Or do you want a property management company to do that? Again, if you want to hire somebody to do that through a property management company, Shalane and I know several of them within the Central Alberta. There's a lot of good ones out there, but we do know that a few of them that we have trusted and we've heard have been very good. So you just want to make sure you got all your bases covered, and we'll help you, put you in touch with the people that we feel at least will get you off on the right foot and get you going. So in summary, Shalane and I are always here. We do the research so you don't have to. I know we say that all the time, but honestly, we do that for you. And if we don't know the answers, we'll find them out for you. So Central Alberta is packed with potential for real estate investors. Whether it's your first one or your 10th one or your 100th property, we're here to help you. We'll guide you through every step of the way. We'll answer your questions. We'll get you in touch with people that can help you when you have other questions. We've got the lawyers, the home inspectors, you name it, we've got a list of trusted trades. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us at any time. Please leave a comment below. Let us know if this video has been helpful. And check us out on social media. Check out our Google review, anything like that, guys. If you have any questions, if you don't know who Shalane and I are, We're happy to help. We've been in the industry for almost 30 years combined, so we've seen a lot. But one thing that I am really confident in, especially based on today's video, is real estate investing in Central Alberta. It's one of the safest investments you'll make. And we feel really confident, and we will help you from start to finish. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll talk soon.